This week's episode is sponsored by the Brilliant Futures Institute.
A lot of us think that we have to write the blog post, right? And we don't have the time to write a blog. Or we're supposed to be doing some videos, and then we're supposed to create a podcast, and we think they're all separate things. When if we really focus on what it is we're trying to say out to the market, we can use it for everything. So right now I'm creating a video, I'm creating a podcast, I'm creating a blog, I'm creating memes, I'm creating many things. I'm going to show you how I do that.
Welcome to the Preeminence Podcast.
You cannot be a courageous leader if you're not vulnerable.
Your legacy is every life you've touched.
The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards.
Now is the time to take risk.
The way it's always been done isn't necessarily the way it should be done.
What is your dream? What do you think 2050, 2100 is going to look like?
The most incredible sort of mystery, I think, is now the question of what comes next.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Welcome to the Preeminence Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters. Visit preeminence.tv to learn more about how to create a preeminent presence for your business, organization, or personal brand. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or just ask Alexa to play the Preeminence Podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of the Preeminence Podcast this week. Now, this week is very special because I'm going to be doing a training that is very near and dear to me. Something that I have been training on for years is how to create videos. And I get a lot of reactions. One of the biggest reaction is, number one, I don't like being on video. Number two, video is just one more complication to what I have to do for my marketing. Meaning, they feel like they have to do blog posts, they have to do videos, they have to have a podcast, they have to create memes, and they feel like they have all this content they have to create. And in their marketing, that takes up so much of their time that they can't run their business. And what I've seen a lot of people do, actually, they focus so much on marketing that they become more of a marketer than an expert in their field. So I want to help you grow in your preeminence in your expertise and not focus on being a marketer. Marketing is just something you're going to need to do to get the message out, to communicate to the audience what it is that you do. You want to do that as clearly and as elegantly as possible. And one of the things we happen to do is we feel like we have to create all this content. And today I want to focus on repurposing. So there's going to be a couple aspects of repurposing. The first thing with repurposing is I want to show you how to do something once with a specific intent and purpose so you can use it many different ways. And I want to make sure that I catch everything. So right before I put this, I've started recording this, I put some notes together. And I want you to think about what is the best strategy for you to create content. Like right now, today's a Sunday, and I have my podcast go out on Monday mornings, actually at midnight. That's part of my strategy. And I can create either 1, 2, 3, or 4 different podcasts in one day, and that's considered batching. When you batch something, you're saying, I'm going to set aside this block of time to go through this content. And I found that when I do that, my week is freed up to work on my business, but I just take either 1 hour to 3 hours to 4 hours to 5 hours, whatever it is, to create my content for marketing throughout the week. So there's the batching part. And the repurposing part is right now I'm doing this on video. You may be seeing this on YouTube or Facebook, or you may be hearing this as a podcast. I'm actually going to be showing you how to do this as a blog post too. But repurposing is saying I'm going to do this once and use it as many ways as possible. So why would I start with video? When you start with video like I'm doing right now, you have the visual aspect and you have the auditory or the audio aspect of it, the sound. And when you have me speaking into a nice microphone like this, I'm speaking very clearly. I can now take the words that I say and have that transcribed and use it many other ways. So a lot of us think that we have to write the blog post, right? And we don't have the time to write a blog. Or we're supposed to be doing some videos. And then we're supposed to create a podcast, and we think they're all separate things. When if we really focus on what it is we're trying to say out to the market, we can use it for everything. So right now I'm creating a video, I'm creating a podcast, I'm creating a blog, I'm creating memes, I'm creating many things. I'm going to show you how I do that. So first of all, you want to start with a camera. It doesn't matter if it's from your smartphone, a tablet, or if you're using a webcam like I'm doing. I'm keeping it super simple so you can see what I'm doing without having to spend
$4,000 on a video studio and setup. That's just going to slow you down. I want you to create content. And once you're making more and more money off the content you're creating, sure, hire somebody to do it. Get the equipment of your own so you can own it. But right now, start with what you have. And be sure you have a decent microphone. Now, this microphone right here is a blue snowball microphone. You can get it at Walmart or Target for about $40 to $50. On Amazon, it's about $40 to $50. It's a nice quality, clear microphone. It's USB, just plug it in. So I've got my video aspect. I'm recording right here. I'm actually recording this on Zoom. And then I also have this audio being recorded through USB. So I want you to think about the second thing is your core. What is your core message? What are you selling? Because whatever you're going to be speaking and being on video about has to be that bridge. Who is your ideal clients and what's the situation they're in right now? And what is it that you're selling? Now, what I'm doing right here is a bridge. So for many of us, we are experts and we're running a successful business or we're growing a successful business. We want to have more influence in the marketplace. And we're trying to figure out how to have enough time to create media to get our name out there. And I'm showing you exactly how to do that. Now, my products and services are with people who have content. They are the expert, and I help them break it down. I help them put it out into the marketplace, do it yourself, done with you, and done for you services. So that's the bridge, and I'm just showing you that's what that is right now. So whenever you're creating video or audio or you're writing a blog post, make sure there's the end in mind. So start with the end in mind. If you have a program or service, this is why you're doing the marketing. Don't just do drive-by marketing. It's like, oh, this is a good idea. Hey, I had this idea, and just start throwing these things out. Even the Preeminence podcast, all 100 episodes that I did every day, all those 100 episodes were about the preeminent lifestyle. How am I, as an expert, going to be seen in the marketplace as the expert without me having to tell people? I'm showing them through how I live, my relationships, my partnerships, how I put myself out in the marketplace, the quality of the information I put out there, the congruity I have, the context that I speak in, all of those things. That's what the Preeminence podcast is about. They weren't just thrown out there randomly. It's all to lead holistically to having a preeminent influence in the market. So let's talk about your content. And when we're starting with video, here's what you do. And you may want to take notes on this, and I'll have some notes below this. But again, just let me know. At the end, you'll see my email address, m@ascend.net. You can send me something there, and I'd be happy to send you these notes here. So when we start with video. And when you create that video, you want to upload the video to Facebook. And you want to upload that video to YouTube. Now, why would you not just put it up on YouTube and share the link on Facebook? It's because Facebook and YouTube are rivals. They are marketing platforms. They are advertising platforms. And when Facebook sees there's a link to a video over on YouTube, they're going to go away from Facebook. Now they're off on YouTube collecting revenue over there. They're competitors. So think of it that way. You want to make them native, meaning I'm going to upload directly to Facebook, and I'm going to upload a second time directly to YouTube. So that's what you do with a video, one of the first things. All right, the second thing is you want to break out the audio. Like I'm doing this on Zoom right now, it makes a video and an audio file. So I automatically have an audio file. And what I'm going to tell you right now to use a specific service. I just did a live training here in Bradenton, Florida on podcasting, and I recommended that everybody use Spreaker. That's Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com. Now, what Spreaker.com is, it's a platform for you to host a podcast. When you're listening to iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher or those, you want to have a hosting company to host that audio file. And all the title of your podcast, your description, all that's hosted on Spreaker. And then iTunes is saying, hey, this person has a podcast. Let's point to that information, grab that file for the person to download. So iTunes does not hold all of your podcasts on iTunes. All right, so get Spreaker. It's $4.99 a month when you start out. It's a great, great service. So what we're doing here is we started with video, and now we have audio, and we can have a podcast. So I'm turning this into a podcast as well. You upload it to Spreaker, and that will go out to iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and there's others. It also goes out to Facebook and Twitter. It actually makes a YouTube file as well, but I want to focus on getting your audio files up onto Spreaker and just connect it with your social media, SoundCloud, Google Play. Take the time to set that up, because once you connect it, every time you upload to Spreaker, it's going to send it out to everybody. And you can stack those. You can say, I want this to go out next week on Monday. I want this one to go out the following week on Monday. And you can just stack those and schedule everything out. All right, so the third thing is you have this audio file, and if you're using a program like Zoom, like I am right now, it's creating a special audio file. You want to go to a service called Temi, TEMI.com. Temi.com will allow you to upload your MP3 or your WAV file, whatever audio file you have, and it will transcribe it at 10 cents a minute. That means if you have a 10-minute audio file, if it from beginning to end is exactly 10 minutes, how much would you be charged? It's $1 to have it transcribed. Now, when I started out, I was paying $1.10 a minute for transcription, and it would take a day or two to have someone transcribe it, getting back to me. Temi takes about 15 minutes for it to be done, because it's all AI. It's all just transcribed with machine. So once you get that file from Temi, you're going to be able to play the audio back, and it'll highlight where it is, what it thinks you said, and you can download a text file or Word file or PDF. But I highly recommend you go in and you edit. Do some light editing to make sure it's accurate. And with that Temi file, that text file, you can upload that to YouTube, and now you have your closed captions. Now, when you have closed captions on YouTube, that means every word you say is accurate because you loaded it up and you know exactly what you said. That is all searchable by Google and YouTube. You're giving YouTube even more context and content for people who are doing search results to say, this is exactly what that person's searching for. So it does help your SEO, it does help your ranking when you upload your own closed caption. Next thing you want to do is you want to do a little bit more heavy editing of what you said. So for instance, what I'm saying right now, I'm going to edit, and I'm going to have that turned into a blog post. If I were to just put this up as a huge block of me talking without having breaks in the paragraphs, to having corrected the English because we speak differently than we read or write, then it's going to seem a little awkward. So you want to make sure that when you are editing, that you are correcting the grammar. So if you think about it, the average person speaks 125 to 150 words per minute. If you're speaking for 5 minutes, that's 625 to 750 words, which is a great length for a blog article. All right, so 5 minutes equals 625 to 750 words, really depending on how much caffeine you've had or what part of the country you're from. Some people speak faster than others, but speaking loudly and clearly into a good microphone will help your transcriptions be even more accurate. All right? The other thing you can do, let's talk about what you can do beyond that. So right now we talked about having a video on YouTube and Facebook, having a podcast, an audio file that goes out across the internet on different platforms. All right, just think about the proliferation of that one message. Let's talk about what else you can do with that. You can find quotes of something you said that sounded brilliant at the time. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. That was a great phrase. I should do more with that. You can break out that little phrase and make a meme out of it. Now, a meme specifically can be used for Facebook, for Instagram, or for Twitter. It's usually a square image with a photo or some graphics and the text on it, so people have a saying in there. If you quote it and put your name on it and people like it and spread it, now that's associated with you. That's associated with your podcast. That's associated with your.com. All right, you're getting yourself out there, getting more of your wisdom in little bite-sized pieces. People can take in that information in a second or two. And if they like it, they can share it. All right, so you can create a meme out of it. You can also take a 30-second to 1 minute part of your video. So I can take a little part of this video here and upload it to Instagram. I can upload it to Facebook just as a little piece if I want. And you can put graphics over it. You can have someone do closed caption, so you actually have the transcript over the video. So if people have their volume down, they can see what you're saying without turning you up. That's a great way for people to take in content really fast, 30 seconds, 1 minute. Gary Vaynerchuk has a team of people who do all this stuff for them. He has, I think he started with 1, then he had 2, and now he has like 11 people just breaking out his content. So if he has a meeting, if he's giving a speech, if he's traveling somewhere, he's talking on his phone, he just gets more and more of his media out, and he has a team that breaks that up and puts it into social media. The other thing you can do is you can create a series of videos, and I did this with live streams. I did 6 videos, and I did trainings that were about 30 minutes each, 26 minutes to 32 minutes, somewhere in there. And I made them into a series of 6, and people can go to ascend.net, asynd.net, and they can get that series of video trainings from me. Those were live streams. I can break them out into many different ways. You can have people opt in for that. You can actually create content one at a time, and you can turn this into an ebook, a free ebook, which is basically several of these videos in a series, several of these podcasts in a series that you would really put more thought into, saying, I want to make a series out of this. I'm going to train on these 6 different subjects, these 7 different subjects, this one subject in depth, and people can opt in for it. You know, people are going to find you in different ways. If they go to your .com and they didn't know you had a podcast, didn't know you had Facebook, or you didn't know you had a YouTube channel, they're finding you on your own website, and you can give it to them as an opt-in for an ebook, which is basically 3 or 5 or 7 of your podcasts you just transcribed and edited and put some graphics in it. If you think about the end in mind, you're going to get much more out of your podcast, much more out of your media. Always be thinking, where am I leading people? Where are they starting from? What are they stuck in? Like some people that I talk with, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, people with small businesses, they want to get in social media. They want to be creating content so people know them as the expert that they are. They're not making anything up. They just want to get people to know them, but they don't know how to create the content. I'm showing you right here how to create the content. And if you want to know more about it, where you would go. So you go to ascend.net. I've got a ton of tools there, training and free training, and you're going to be able to see all of that right there by going to ascend.net. So let me know what you think about this training. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, for reading. And if you found this valuable, share it with others. Thank you so much for being on. I look forward to talking with you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Preeminence Podcast. Subscribe to hear powerful interviews and insights each week automatically downloaded the moment they go live. Share this episode with your team, your friends, and post it on social media. Let us know your comments and suggestions for the show at m@ascend.net. That's the letter M @asynd.net.